Imagine this for a second. The galaxy's most feared conqueror, the Mule, kneels inside Hari Seldon's vault, writhing, helpless, broken. His mind stripped bare by the null field, his unstoppable psychic grip shattered. For the first time, the predator becomes prey, and Hari, he's holding the knife. He could end it, right there. Right then. History, rewritten with one fatal choice. But he doesn't. He lets him go. Now, wait, let me ask you something. If you had the chance to erase the single greatest threat to humanity's survival, would you? Or would you gamble the entire future of civilization on one of the boldest, coldest, and maybe most insane strategies ever conceived? Because that's exactly what Hari Seldon just did. And this isn't some accident. This wasn't compassion. It wasn't even hesitation. This was strategy. Pure, calculated, ruthless strategy. Hari didn't just spare the Mule. He turned him into something far more dangerous, a living experiment. But here's the haunting question that's been rattling in my head since I first watched this scene. Did Hari just save the galaxy by forcing his plan to evolve? Or did he doom it forever by unleashing chaos no equation can contain? Think about it. The Mule isn't just a conqueror, he's a blind spot. The one-variable psychohistory, the flawless system Hari built to predict the fate of trillions, can't account for. Every empire, every war, every revolution, every rebellion, all reduced to numbers, patterns, probabilities. And yet here comes the Mule, a walking paradox, rewriting destiny with nothing more than his will. So let me hit you with this. What do you do when your perfect plan collides with the impossible? Do you destroy the impossible? Or do you study it? Hari chose the second option. And it might just be the boldest gamble in the Foundation's history. Now, before I unravel the secrets hiding in this moment, yes, secrets Hari doesn't want anyone to know, let me say this. If you're obsessed with the kind of forbidden knowledge that flips an entire series upside down, you're in the right place. And if you haven't already, you need to hit that subscribe button right now, because trust me, the rabbit holes we're about to fall into go deeper than even Hari could calculate. Alright, back to the vault. Let's really picture this scene. The Mule struts in, arrogant as ever. He's already conquered New Terminus, bent its leaders into puppets, and proved his psychic domination can shatter even the strongest wills. He thinks Hari is next on his list. But the moment the null field slams down, the balance flips. For the first time in his life, the Mule is powerless. Imagine that. The galaxy's great monster, reduced to begging, and Hari, cold, calm, calculating. He's not just in control. He owns the moment. So why not finish it? Why not strike the final blow? Here's where it gets controversial. Hari doesn't think in terms of people. He never has. He thinks in civilization's equations, tides of history. Where you or I see a tyrant, Hari sees data. Where we see danger, he sees opportunity. To him, the Mule isn't a man at all. He's a variable. And variables are precious. Because variables change the math. Let that sink in. Hari could have chosen mercy. He could have chosen justice. Instead, he chose math. But here's where the problem explodes into something darker. The Mule isn't just a variable. He's the one force psychohistory cannot predict. A wild card, a glitch, a flaw in the formula. Every other anomaly gets smoothed out by the law of large numbers. The Mule doesn't. He reshapes the board, and he does it alone. Hari knows this. That's why killing him would have been too simple. By sparing him, Hari doesn't just keep the wild card alive, he invites it into the game. And this is where the dread kicks in. Because what if the game can't survive a wild card? Let me put it another way, imagine building the most advanced computer ever designed, one capable of simulating entire galaxies. Now imagine someone slips in a single corrupted line of code.
Just one.
What happens? Everything breaks. Chaos spreads like a virus, the system collapses. That's the Mule, the corrupted line of code, and Hari just let him run free. But here's the twist. You can almost see Hari smirking when he makes the choice. Because deep down he knows something the rest of us don't. He knows psychohistory is fragile. Too fragile. And maybe, just maybe, it needs to break before it can evolve. Now pause right here. Because this is where things get even more haunting. The Mule isn't just unpredictable. He's personal. Think back to Gal Dornick's visions. The ones she can't escape. The inevitable clash between her and the Mule. You think Hari didn't factor that in? You think sparing the Mule wasn't about letting destiny play out? No. Hari's playing 3 games at once. With the galaxy, with the plan, and with fate itself. And yet, the cost of this gamble could be unimaginable. Every empire the Mule destroys, every life he bends, every chain of suffering he unleashes, it's all on Hari. Every atrocity, every broken world, every shattered hope, also Hari can gather data. That's not just cold. That's terrifying. Because ask yourself, what if Hari's wrong? What if psychohistory can't adapt? What if chaos isn't a variable to study, but a fire that consumes everything? And this, right here, is where the audience feels the chill. Hari might have just unleashed horrors that could shatter the very foundation he built. Now, here's the part that keeps me awake at night. Hari didn't spare the mule because he believed in mercy. He spared him because he believed in control. He thinks he can use the mule, shape him, turn him into a piece on the board. But what if the mule isn't a piece? What if he's the player? What if Hari isn't the puppeteer anymore? What if he's the puppet? Here's the forbidden truth nobody wants to admit. Hari Seldon didn't let the mule go because he underestimated him. No, he let him go because he wanted to study him. Think about how cold that is. Billions of lives, entire worlds, just collateral damage in one man's experiment. Hari doesn't see the mule as flesh and blood. He sees him as a crack in the mirror. And cracks, they reveal the weakness in the glass. But the secret no one talks about is this: Hari needs the mule. Without him, psychohistory becomes stagnant, brittle, predictable. With him, it evolves. The plan only works if it's stress-tested, and the mule is the ultimate test. And here's where I'll pull you into this. What do you think? If you were Hari, would you kill the anomaly to save lives in the short term, or would you gamble on chaos reshaping history for the better? Drop it in the comments, because I swear I've gone back and forth on this question more times than I can count. Now let's dig into the whispers. There are theories, forbidden theories, about why the mule breaks psychohistory. Some say his powers aren't infinite, that they're rooted in deep trauma, in scars so profound that his psychic reach is fueled by pain itself. Imagine that, the most terrifying weapon in the galaxy powered not by strength, but by suffering. If that's true, then the mule isn't just a conqueror. He's a wound given form. Others believe the real anomaly isn't even the mule. It's Magnifico, the so-called jester. I know, it sounds insane. But think about it. What if the mule's greatest trick isn't his domination, but his disguise? What if Magnifico is the mask, and the mule has been hiding in plain sight, laughing at psychohistory for failing to see him? Hari might suspect this. And by sparing him, he's daring the mask to slip. And then there's Gail Dornick. Don't forget, she's haunted by visions of the mule. Every future she glimpses, every fragment of destiny points her straight to him. Is that coincidence? Or is Hari quietly making sure she's the one to face him by letting the story unfold? I'll throw this hypothetical at you. What if Hari doesn't just predict history? What if he manipulates it so destiny chooses its heroes? But here's the terrifying part: if Gail's clash with the mule is inevitable, then sparing him isn't just a gamble. It's a setup. Hari isn't waiting for fate to happen. He's forcing it. Now, if you've followed my past breakdowns, you know I've said before, Hari Seldon doesn't play by the rules of morality. He plays by the rules of inevitability. Remember when he let entire generations die, just to preserve the equations? Same energy here. The mule's survival isn't about mercy. It's about inevitability. Hari needs the chaos to complete the math. But let's break this down in a way that really stings. Every empire the mule conquers, every leader he enslaves, every innocent life crushed, that's Hari's fault. Not because he created the mule, but because he chose not to end him. Imagine watching galaxies burn and telling yourself it's worth it because the data matters. That's not just cold. That's monstrous.